that really was like, I don't know how, why he,
I don't know.
Like, it was like he wanted to crash out there.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's like,
Yeah.
you tried to so rude.
Oh my god.
And he instantly catches fire.
Oh god.
Go get out of your car, get back in and keep talking.
Wait. Get out of there. There's some people with the right idea.
Oh, one made it through. One made it through the. He's like, I want to go home, people. And he's like, no, I'm not. One made it through. You know what's the sad thing about this? I think people would actually do this. Yeah. Like, I don't think Grand Theft Auto's out there.
Oh shoot. That's so crazy. Oh man. Welcome to the Thearly Clinking podcast. That was just a metaphor of how well this podcast is going to go today.
I don't think we're going to keep driving towards the flaming car, though.
Right. So,
I think my favorite part of that was just the person, just like, one guy just like, it looked like the other guy was like, the first guy that catches fire, the guy in the blue shirt looks like he's trying to stomp him out, but he trips over him and catches fire too.
Oh man.
And then the one car just runs over people and is trying to get away from the chaos that is.
That was pretty crazy.
There's like 5 minutes of that too, though. I'm gonna have to like sit there and watch the
big long
the rest of it.
Deal. All right. Anyway, but yeah, welcome. We're gonna talk about stuff and things. This is a podcast with conversation and video game nerdiness. But generally, we would like to start off with talking about how our week's gone. How's your week gone, TJ?
My week's been busy. Like Monday we went out. You discussed some of the future topics about the show, and then Tuesday we filmed our first episode of TJ and Ash Crash the Movies, which was a lot of fun. And then I didn't actually get to do editing until Wednesday night because one of my friends like, you want to come hang out? I'm like, I need to do editing tonight. I was up to I got 2 hours of sleep before I had to go into work.
Yeah.
Editing that thing, but it turned out really well. I was kind of surprised how well it turned out. I was really a little skeptical about it. But if you guys haven't, if anyone's watching the stream, you guys haven't catched it.
Yeah, go check it out.
Let us know what you think. It was a lot of fun. That's what I mostly did this weekend. This week, that was a lot of my time. I played some Rage again. They kind of helped get our stream count on. And I forgot how much I love that game. I know a lot of people hate it. Like, I think if I look it up real quick, like the Metascore on it is like, it ended really badly.
Right.
Like it kind of just ended, and people and they kind of marketed it wrong. They kind of marketed it as this huge open world, like, go do whatever you want kind of thing, Fallout-esque. And it didn't have the open world driviness, but it's still a fun game. Playing the game is not, you have fun playing it. So I don't know why. So I was enjoying it. Then John Goodman's small bit in it makes me.
I think the fact that it's not open world or RPG-ish it's what would just kind of draws me away from it.
Yeah, there's not very many RPG elements. There's a pretty easy crafting system in it. Like, you can craft sentry bots that kind of follow you around.
Right.
But the gameplay is really solid, and I think that's a lot. Like, I'm looking at the reviews right now. Game Informer actually gave it a 9 out of 10. 4 out of 5 for G4. Oh, G4, why'd you ever have to go away?
Oh, man. Why'd you have to mention that, man?
Oh, Adam.
The memories. Anyway.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, is things like that. Memories, friends.
Memories.
People that that were friends, but
memories.
Actually, it did really well. Like, I guess a lot of people complained about some stuff, but it had, I don't see why they shouldn't make a sequel to it. Actually, it looks like Rage 2. The sequel is Doom. The new Doom kind of looks and feels like the new Rage.
Yeah. I think I'll try out the new Doom.
And that's because the heaviness, it is making both games, and it's a really good developer.
Yeah, for sure.
So
we'll see how that one turns out. But Doom looks really good. That actually had me excited for a first-person shooter of all things.
And the whole they make map creating really really in depth and easy accessible too. Like Far Cry used to do that, but they kind of gave it up with 3.
Right.
Kind of thing, but no, I'm excited.
Yeah, that map editing is pretty exciting to me because that's what's got me excited for Mario Maker.
You're gonna make those maps where you put the end of the level under a bunch of blocks, and somebody has to figure out how to glitch through it.
I'll make some crazy shit. I'm so excited for Mario Maker. I'm ready to.
Have you seen what they've already done though? Like Item Hell. Have you seen some of those videos where they?
Oh yeah, where people have made the self-made Mario levels.
The one guy has to I was watching one of the self-made ones, and he has to use items, and he's flying a bunch of chompers and things like that.
Yeah, those are pretty crazy. Those are pretty nuts. A lot of those are tool assisted, which means they have a tool that's programmed to put the inputs perfectly. Instead of an actual person playing through, it's a robot that they program to do it. But it's still pretty crazy. It takes an insane amount of skill to
even program that kind of thing.
Program that. Yeah, tons. You
got to do the timing and the things like that.
It takes a lot of time and effort to figure all that out.
Other than that, I went to Gaming Con with you for about 2 days.
A couple days of that, yeah. Gaming Con was good.
Salt Lake Gaming Con.
Yeah, Salt Lake Gaming Con.
I don't have PAX.
We have our kind of bastardized version of PAX. It's very small, very rinky.
We got Trevor to come.
It was very cool. Well, apparently, I don't know. I didn't see him there. I didn't see him there either. So maybe he didn't. But he was announced. He was announced as a guest. The guy who played Trevor. Looked around for him, and we didn't see him, and we just kind of
they even have a booth. They had one of the composers.
They had the composer for Metal Gear there.
And Metal Gear 2, Sons of Liberty, though.
Yeah. I
have mixed feelings about Raiden. That's actually one of my favorite themes. Is the opening theme to Metal Gear 2.
Mm-hmm.
It had some really good just symphony movements, and it's just
right.
And she did the Snake Eater theme too.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So there's that was cool to check out, but. Other than that, there just wasn't a whole lot there. I'm hoping that they they keep doing this and it grows into something else, or they get some more developers.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what it was lacking in. Is there was some indie developers there, and then there Microsoft had a booth, Sony had a booth.
Where was Microsoft's booth?
They were at the far end.
Oh, I didn't see them.
But there wasn't a whole lot of stuff there, but there was a lot of cool I think the tournaments and everything, those were all really well done.
I think they needed to set more game stations, because the one thing I noticed, there wasn't a lot of things to test out. If they could just be hey, come test out stuff, get the Salt Lake environment really into the thing, and then
that was the biggest issue, is there wasn't a whole lot of gaming going on.
No,
there was some cool I got to play the new Guitar Hero, and that was really cool.
What makes it what makes the new Guitar Hero interesting?
So this one's a little different. So what's going on with this one is they have 6 buttons now. So instead of the normal 5,
so you actually have to move up and down
no, you have 6 buttons over 3 on top, 3 on bottom. You have black and white. So the top ones are signified by black color, and then the white color. And so the way it'll show up on the screen is you'll have the 1, 2, and 3, and you just match it up with the corresponding one.
Oh, so
black 1, 2, and 3, and then white 1, 2, and 3.
So do you mean they have rows?
It's 2 rows.
Oh, so they have 2 rows. I was each other. You said top and bottom. I was why do they need a button underneath the neck?
So now it's you got the two.
So you have to actually move.
Two rows of on the frets.
So people can pretend they're actually.
And then you can actually bar the chord and on expert level, you'll see that where you have to press the black and the white together.
Okay, so it's actually playing chord. You actually play real chords now.
It's like playing real chords ish. It's
that's still kind
of cool. It feels very Guitar Hero-y, but it's more. It changes it up though, and that's what I like about it. Actually, is it changes up the whole Guitar Hero thing.
Adds a new formula.
Adds a whole new dynamic to it, and now they have the open strings too, which is what Rock Band did. I think where you have to hit you have to strum when you're not pressing anything. They added that to it.
So that's
finally too. I don't know if that was in the other Guitar Heroes, because I stopped playing after 4, but I don't think it was. So they added that, so it feels more Rock Bandy. One of the coolest things about it though was how they handled the audience. So the way it is it looks like you're a POV of the guitarist. So like you can see what the guitarist sees, and then and then what you do is you would see like the band members playing as you're playing, and if you suck, like if you're messing up a lot, they will boo you, and like
but it's a live
other
audience.
guitar player,
I wonder how many times
yeah,
they filmed it.
and even the audience will be like, boo,
Oh,
get off the stage, you suck, get out of the band,
no,
you're fired. Like the vocalist will look at you like, what the fuck, man, like what are you doing? So it's pretty cool. Like they actually and this is live footage too. It's not like
I wonder how many
in-game
times,
rendered stuff.
they had
Like
to film that,
they must have like done just a bunch of takes on like the audience and different audiences. Apparently they're gonna actually incorporate a lot of real bands into it too, so it's not gonna be just in real audiences. So they'll probably have like one of the songs on it was like Fall Out Boys, so they'll probably have like Fall Out Boys actual like live setup, and then like a live audience that's actually there for Fall Out Boy and stuff. That'll be pretty cool. So I'm pretty stoked to see what that's going to turn out to be, because I haven't played a Guitar Hero for a long time.
It's harder than playing. I hate switching because everybody's like, you play guitar, you should be a master at it.
So the problem with this one that I had was when I went to reach down to the bottom frets, I would actually stretch too far. Because I'm used to playing real guitar, and so it was really weird when I tried to do the chords. I'd be like, oh wait, I'm not pressing the right, where's the button? And so like it was really weird.
You ever see Slash's footage of trying to beat himself on guitar?
Oh yeah,
like it's like he has the hardest time playing against himself. Like even on the easel.
Having never played Guitar Hero, because it's a different thing. It was a totally different experience, but it's still fun.
I enjoy it.
Just like a rhythm game, it's like Dance Dance Revolution. Like you're not gonna dance like left, right, left, forward, back. You know, you're not gonna dance like you're
not
doing
supposed
the
to dance
pokey,
like
right?
that.
Doing the hokey pokey.
One
I think it has a little more to do with actual other parts of your body moving than just your feet. But anyway, So we did the gaming con.
I was kind of mad they were advertising Battlefront, and I didn't see any Battlefront.
Well, we didn't go to Gamescom. That's why.
I know.
If we went to Gamescom, we probably would have got to play Battlefront, but we're poor and can't afford a last-minute plane ticket to Germany and Gamescom. Yeah. So, anyway.
I hope it gets bigger, but I don't. It wasn't really marketed really well. Like the guys they got for Salt Lake Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I
think Salt Lake Comic-Con did a really great job marketing, because they viral marketed like really well. It started off, I remember following the page very early on. It was like 2 years before they even did the con. I followed the page.
Oh, it was going around. I remember hearing about it and wanted to do tickets.
And they essentially just viral marketed. They're like, how would you guys feel about this? Oh, cool. Hey, like, and then they would just test out ideas.
Well, they did
and
it pretty
slowly
well
started posting more and more often, and started doing tons of giveaways, tons of promotion, and just on social media. And that's what's really cool, is they just leverage social media.
They did it really well, because I remember hearing about it and going, oh, this thing's going to fail so hard. This thing's going to be stupid. It's going to be retarded. And then it is third biggest launch of Comic-Con. Actually, no, it wasn't even the third biggest launch. It was the biggest launch of Comic-Con ever.
One of the biggest, yeah.
I think it was number one because...
it probably was.
Because San Diego wasn't big when it first hit.
Because San Diego's original, though, too.
Yeah, we had the biggest opening launch, though.
Right.
But it was, it was...
You're good.
I hope the gaming convention gets that big. I doubt it.
Right.
But it'd be fun to see, like, a PAX thing start to come
Absolutely. Here. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, is maybe we'll see some more indie developers there. I mean, it would have been cool to act, like, that's the thing, is like there were some indie developers there, but they weren't very well known.
No, they were mostly for like board games.
Some of them were cool, and then there was some board game stuff there too.
Like if there was a card game these people were playing, I wanted to kind of sit down and play it. But I never
a lot of people, like there were a lot of empty tables, so there was people like just setting up D&D games and stuff. It was so sick. It's like that would have been cool to like sit down and actually participate in those, or learn how to D&D panel or something. Like I feel like I should have maybe participated in that. Just been like, let's start a learn how to D&D group, and then
they just do a D&D
get a bunch of noobs. Yeah, that would actually be cool. If I could figure it out, I would love to. And I hear the new version. I'm hearing things about the new version of D&D, version 5, I believe is what it is really good.
Is it easier to access? Because the problem with D&D I've learned in the past.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's really hard to start a game.
I hear it is just really good. So if I can figure it out and we can get somebody that knows a little more what they're doing involved, I'd be down. Let's do it.
I'm running out of water.
Don't run out of water. You're never out. It's Mad Max in here. It's a dry desert. You're never, ever going to...
Mother's milk.
Mother's milk.
Like the big, huge, giant.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite. He's like,
what is it?
And he just knows it's
It
breast.
must be mother's milk. Oh, man.
Dude, I want to get somebody just the Mad Max and go, I only drink got milk, mother's milk. Just the big, huge.
Oh, man. So,
and then that looked, I mean, that was a really good, fun experience, though,
yeah,
regardless.
it was way fun.
Watching, you in the Hearthstone tournament. How was that?
Yeah, the Hearthstone tournament. So, I went, and I did probably about as good as I normally do in the Hearthstone tournament, which is like win the first round that I play, and then get knocked out, and then knocked out. You know, it's just...
Poor Bowser.
I lost the double elim. Bowser lost to the same dude that he lost to in a tournament a couple months back, so...
Dude, before we went the semifinals though, like some
Yeah.
people had some really good late decks. Like that one guy we came back for when was it JB that was with us?
Yeah.
When JB went to go watch with us, that guy was like, "Oh, he's gonna lose," and then 2, 5, 6 health, he comes back and kept.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I like seeing late game decks in Hearthstone because usually Hearthstone's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, it feels like tournament play. People aren't trying to like. And that's the thing you got to be careful with too with tournament play because like I went in actually playing a Face Hunter deck too and it's like it's 50-50 chance when you play it in the tournament but like other people will play it too so
they play differently kind of thing.
Yeah, but you know.
Oh, it was fun. Did you do anything else besides you had the whole week off?
Yeah, I did a lot of just kind of like reading and just like I went to a pub quiz. It's just something I've been doing. We have a group that gets together and
you guys do pub
tests our trivia on every Wednesday night at Lucky 13, which is just a bar downtown here.
They have really good burgers. Like.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I tried their peanut butter burger the other day, and it was pretty crazy. The nut butter. It's really good, though. It was actually, it was a really interesting concept to me, but, like, peanut butter on a burger, like, it's like peanut butter, lettuce, tomato, and...
I tried their pork belly. I mean, what are the big, huge smokehouse pork burger.
Gotcha.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Hashtag happy stories.
Yeah.
He wants to be happy.
Yeah.
But no, that was we were really, really busy this week. There wasn't very much time for like gaming, things like that. Like I played a little bit, like I said, I played a little bit of Rage.
Played a ton of Diablo 3 this week, that's for sure. It's like working on my Crusader. I beat Diablo with her finally.
The Crusader's in Diablo now, right? That's how does the Crusader work? How you been liking her in Hearthstone though? I mean,
Heroes of the Storm as a like she plays. I mean, pretty much the same in both, which is weird. She doesn't die at all in Diablo.
Like another Jim Raynor though.
She does not die in Heroes of the Storm at all. Because in Heroes of the Storm, she has like this talent that she gets at level 20 that's indestructible, and so if she loses all of her health, she gets like I think most of it back in armor or in shield, and then it and then it just
Well, I didn't know if she'd be like another Jim Raider, like impossible to kill. Like that's like
she's pretty hard to kill, but she does no damage. She has the same problem that like other warriors have, like Leoric, Arthas. Just they're hard to kill, but also don't do a lot of damage. But that's the point. Is like they're
who's the double hammer dwarf guy? That's like
Muradin.
Muradin's the only other guy who can ever play in that game.
Yeah, he's good. He's good for new players too. I think he's the most like accessible character.
Tychus is actually one of my favorite because he can just like hurt. He's so annoying to people because he's got that ability.
Hey, Wildmark, thanks for subbing. Notice the oh hi mark as well. So oh hi wild mark.
Oh, I forgot we have the
yeah. Oh hi wild mark. Oh hi doggy. Yeah. So
you're my best customer.
You're my favorite customer.
Is it favorite? I have never seen The Room. We need to.
Okay. We'll watch it. We'll watch it for sure.
Because all I've seen from The Room is all social media. Yeah. So I've picked up the majority of the movie.
You'll see. Like it's. I mean, it's obviously a bad movie. It's really
so bad.
It drags. It has tons of stupid scenes that are completely pointless to the plot.
I did not hit her. I did not.
And then even the ones that are important to the plot, they're awful. So, yeah, it's just one of those movies. It's fun though. It's all good fun. I read the book The Disaster Artist recently, which is the guy who played Mark in The Room. It's his
take on it.
His book, like it's basically his biography.
Of the filming.
And it's more about his relationship with Tommy Wiseau and
nobody every time Tommy Wiseau won't really talk about it, will he? Like he doesn't like.
Tommy Wiseau is like a very secretive dude. Like it's really weird. Like what's Greg Sestero? Greg Sestero says that like he's just really secretive about his life and he doesn't like to talk about it, and it seems like something had happened to him that like. He feels like he needs to be secretive about it.
I think it's mostly because very insecure about actually failed. I mean, it failed. Like it's become it's become like a social media fanfare, and I mean it's evolved into something else kind of thing. So
right.
And it was just like it's been really good. I mean, it's like Sharknado. Like sci-fi is like let's roll with it.
Right.
But it's one of those things like you can't make a bad movie good on purpose. Yeah. Like the Sharknado 2 and 3. Aren't as good as watching Sharknado 1, because trying to make something bad, like
doing it on purpose is dumb.
Like Troll 2 is like one of those movies that you can't it's one of those cult classics for being just one of the worst movies ever.
Right.
And you can't make it good, bad, good kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is he's actually working on a sitcom that's coming up.
Tommy Russo?
Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau is working on a sitcom, so we'll see how that turns out. I don't know when or where it will air, or if it will air, but apparently he's working on something. So let's see.
That's terrible.
Some sort of TV show. Whatever the case is, read Greg Sestero's book. Watch that movie. It's very interesting. Very. If you're into like weird cult movies like that, it's.
Well, I heard I need to get like a tub of popcorn because people like just watch it like on anniversary.
It's
It's
really funny. It is a funny movie to watch. It's a comedy. In my honest opinion, it is a comedy and it's a parody
of life.
Of life of
just like past
of life or like of like stupid.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Although it was unintended to be a comedy, it was a drama. It was Tommy Wiseau's like.
You kind of just have to, you kind
of. But what like I really appreciate about him, and this is kind of like the message in the book too, is like he didn't care what people thought at all. He was just like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care, and he just kept pouring money into it. Did it. It was a flop at the box office, but he didn't care. He just kept promoting it, kept pushing it, like. And he's like, he loved it because he loved it. Like, that's what he wanted to do with himself. He wanted to be in a movie. He wanted to act. He wanted to direct it. And, like, that was his dream. And he did it. So, that's really what it, like, the message it gives off. Even though it was, like, widely known, like, everybody thinks it's just a piece of shit. Like, he
well, it's like Kevin Smith said when we went to his Q&A. It's hard. Like, you put all this work and effort into it. And you're like, here you go, world. And the world just goes... Yeah.
Screw off.
So it's a lot of effort and work to kind of put stuff like that, and it can be taken really personal because people are just like overly critical.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's just being a critic and then just being a jackass.
And like, I mean, obviously, like the dude's like kind of ignorant to the world, and like actually, there's like things that he just doesn't understand, and like that movie is really actually very good it's showing you how he sees the world. It's actually a good like look at what he thinks of things, and it's really interesting in that aspect.
His character conversations need a lot of.
Well, like his character conversations are literally just him talking to himself. Is like what it reminds me of. It's like there's this like the first lines that come out of the grandmother's mouth are like, he's such a nice boy, he's like and he's really rich, he has a lot of money. Like it's just like she just goes off on how great of a person he is, and it's like that's something Tommy Wiseau would say about himself.
So this is just kind of time. This is like Bobby's World, like an adult version of Bobby's World. You ever remember that cartoon show?
No.
Well, Bobby's World, he's just kind of his imagination, and he kind of just views everything how it's supposed to like happen in his head.
Right.
It's a really early '90s cartoon. So, but it sounds fun. We're gonna have to do like a
watch it and do a review or something.
We have to do a TJ and Nash and have you guest star.
Maybe. Yeah, because I love that movie. I'm a pretty good expert. I'm a pretty big expert on it now at this point. Like, I'd like to consider myself, or like maybe an amateur expert at the room. I wouldn't like. I can't say everything.
You know, like some of those cult fans that are like know every little detail.
Yeah,
like,
but I've watched the movie several times. I've watched Riff Tracks do their commentary on it, and then I've read the book that's gone over it, and listened to the audiobook. So technically read it.
If you want to be the expert on that, I'll just be an expert on Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah,
which is just like, yeah.
Well,
that game comes out next month.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be fun.
And they're actually saying it's a lot of the initial reviews. The first things are coming back very positive.
That's good. I'm interested in seeing how it turns out. Normally, licensed games are shit, so we'll see what happens with it. Because like they're not following what the movie did, which is great.
They couldn't, because this was way in production before the movie actually got in production.
Right.
So this has been worked on a lot longer. Than
makes me think more along the lines it might be a Batman Arkham Asylum, because that's what Batman Arkham Asylum was. It was just like, sure, it came out around the same time that like the Christopher Nolan movies came out, but it was completely different take.
They're saying the gun combat.
On Batman.
I mean, so the biggest thing about this game is going to be vehicle combat, because that's the world of Mad Max. It's always about the vehicle, but they're saying that a lot of the combat is pretty good. That's things cool. Like that, and I'm really excited. Yeah, and so one of the things you get to visit is like you get to go visit like Bullet Town and then the oil and gas town, things like that, the bullet farmers, because
that's cool.
Because Mad Max had already had this big huge world as is, that Fury Road kind of just briefly skimmed over, because Fury Road was just like action after action after action. It wasn't like you really got
there's a world, we're not gonna handhold you and show you the world, we're just going to throw you into the mix with Mad Max and take you on this journey. And I actually really like that about it, because then you're asking questions, and then it's like
it allows you to make up own stuff for your head, and you kind of just go, whoa.
Yeah, and then they can create movies on that and riff on it as they go too, if they wanted to. And it's just like, I mean, you said like George Miller kind of just didn't script the movie; he just did it off the top of his head.
Yeah, that's what made Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy really so mad about it, because these people are like, Tom Hardy, he likes to do a lot of character acting and things like that, because you go from Bane to like a Russian soldier in Child 42, and then he just and then Charlize Theron, she's won an Academy Award for like Monsters. So you've got these two really, really good actors that have like no direction, that crave direction, just constantly fighting each other. And like Tom Hardy hated George Miller the whole entire time. He was this close to like just
quitting the movie.
And then he saw the movie and he was like, oh, I feel bad now.
It turned out really good. It was a good movie.
So
yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Like if it I finally watched Road Warrior the other day, and it was very cool. It was like it was
probably should have watched
about as good or better than Fury Road. So
you should have watched Mad Max first.
The original one.
Yeah, because the problem is now that you watch Fury Road and Road Warrior, Mad Max is going to be a little.
It's going to be shitty. It's probably going to be the worst.
Because the problem is with the original Mad Max, it has some of the biggest pacing issues. Like it's an odd movie, so it was different when it first came out. It was good, things like that. It's dystopian, so it's before the world ends.
Right.
I mean, so it might. Then you gotta go watch Thunderdome. Thunderdome's just cheesy as hell and fun to watch.
Okay. I'll check that one out. But anyway, yeah, like Road Warrior is a great movie.
The problem is that I hear the sequel's not coming out anytime soon, just because it made $150 million. So $150 million. The thing is, it made money, but the problem is now nobody wants to pick up the production rights, things like that.
Yeah.
And it's.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not like in any rush to see the sequel. I hope that one comes out for it. That'd
not
be cool.
30 years later, though.
Yeah, obviously that would suck, but yeah, I mean, 30 years later, whatever, you know, maybe it'll give me something to do while I'm in a wheelchair or whatever, wherever I end up in 30 years. Probably won't be in a wheelchair. I hope not. I hope to be fit and
I'm gonna laugh.
in shape, but I might be.
Okay,
I might be just.
I'm marking the timer right now, and then 30
years from now, I'm in a wheelchair. It'll be like, ha ha. Anyway,
no, it's gonna be like, ha.
You doomed yourself.
I don't know how to laugh at you without like a total jag. Well, we had a top. Well, we can still talk about like.
Yeah, we have a topic still. So we're gonna move on to
bring a friend or
being
two.
social. Yeah, so like bring a friend or two. So like.
Gaming con, like the reason why we're talking about a topic is.
So going back to like gaming con and social kind of this like social gaming, and like how it's affected and how it's changed over the years and how it like has affected us in general. So we kind of like talk about our memories doing some social gaming.
How's it changed, things like that? Cause,
exactly.
I mean, you wouldn't have like gaming conventions like this back in the day. There wasn't always an E3, a CES, right?
Right. I remember when I first heard about E3, I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. It was like a convention based on gaming. I love video games.
And there was that period where E3 was actually kind of dying. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is that they cut it off from the public, which really hurt E3
right
a lot, because the public's like, well, I want to go, and then the press can be a bunch of douchebags sometimes.
Yeah. It's opened up a little bit, I think, since they did that. But yeah, it's regardless. They have PAX now. You have other cons like RTX, which is Rooster Teeth's Expo. Other.
I want a TCX.
Yeah, and then Comic Cons even have turned into a little bit of gaming con. Everything's kind of intermixed a little bit, which is cool. So.
Well, a lot of video games these days start getting comic books.
But yeah, I remember it's like, I mean, as a kid, like when I had like my Super Nintendo and my N64, it was like, go over to your friend's house and we'll just
hope he has an
game.
extra controller.
And like, yeah, and I remember like we'd have these really long sleepovers, or like we're gonna stay up for 24 hours and just play GoldenEye or Mario 64 or Mario Kart or Mario Party. Like,
well, some of my favorite memories were like, I didn't own a Final Fantasy game, so
right.
Okay, these aren't my. This actually kind of put me off, but you go watch your friend play. Like, that was how you learned how a game was good. It wasn't like, let's go pull up the internet and.
I still had a subscription to Nintendo Power, and Game Pro. I think I had.
I remember.
I had subscriptions to 2 magazines as a kid. That I talked my parents into subscribing to, I should say. But
I begged my parents for a Game Informer subscription when I was a kid, because that was like the only thing you could really do.
Yeah. And so, like, getting the Game Pro is like, oh, cool, I can see what games are coming up on these other consoles. I can see what I want in the future. I can see reviews of games. It was just, like, even being a kid, like, it was, like, even though, like, I wasn't purchasing any games or anything, it was just like, this is cool. I can actually look and
you get all the bios and, like, other people, too, things like that. I remember always having to go to, like, the art page on... fan art page for like Game Informer. Right. Now you've got DeviantArt, which is just littered with all fan art.
Sonic fan art specifically. Speaking of Sonic fan art, we actually had an experience, and this is probably a little off topic, but also on topic. So Monday,
I forgot we did that.
You probably checked the rebroadcast of it on Twitch.
Oh, we got.
But we're gonna actually split it up into some episodes on YouTube for a new show that we're testing out. Originally, I was calling it Humble Highlights, but I think it's just more of going to be our like dual commentary, like where one of us will play the game or we'll both co-op through a game
and kind of just have one,
yeah. And
that was
no camera, just like
what was it called again?
Pure commentary. So this one was called Freedom Planet, and it started off actually as just someone's Sonic fan game.
Well, we didn't know that going into it.
Yeah, we didn't know this going into it. We had to look it up actually during the playthrough. And you'll see that in the playthrough. We'll look it up and we'll start learning about it. But it's It's this Sonic. It started as a Sonic game, and then so he went on DeviantArt and to get like the art. So basically, what happened was like he was gonna make a Sonic game using Sonic assets and whatnot, but it was turning into something good enough that he's like, you know what? Let's just make a whole new game. And so he goes on DeviantArt and finds like Sonic fan artists. I guess I don't know.
I think he just hired someone.
He just
hired this artist.
But I just thought it was funny because like they were on DeviantArt, and that's like notorious for all like the Sonic
fan fiction of everything.
The Sonic fan fiction characters are like, oh, look at my new Sonic character that I made. And there's like a million of them, and so it's just like it's a funny internet thing to me.
My favorite thing though is that the main character was designed as a hedgehog, but because of legal reasons, like no, it's a dragon. And I'm like,
no, it wasn't legal reasons. It was just like the guy wanted a dragon. I went in and read about it.
But, you read about it more?
Yeah, and I guess he just wanted a dragon character, and the artist just drew a hedgehog. So.
My favorite thing about this is the reason why I love how games have gotten social these days. Like, because in the past you couldn't do something like this.
Oh, no way.
This is a big, huge just social experiment.
The cool thing was, like, he was
hired
able
a
to
Dutch
just
company.
hire people over the internet, essentially, and just had them work on the assets of the game, and he just helped put it all together.
He was a producer is what he was.
Yeah, just as a producer. This is something I've thought about doing too myself. It's just like I've got all like these ideas, and I started playing with RPG Maker, and I was like, damn, if I had more time, I'd totally make a cool game out of this. But then I started thinking about it as like if I just made a spreadsheet of all the shit that I needed done, and then just went and paid people to do it all, then I'd have a game. But I don't know. I don't know all the like legalities of it, so I just like haven't done that yet. But I've thought about it, and that's
he's
really
obviously
cool.
done it. Like everybody kickstarted the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
The writing is so funny, and it's so like it's an American's take on like every anime show.
It is a fan fiction. No, like there's no question about it. Like it is a fan fiction, but it is a good fan fiction. I'll give it that. It's like I've read. I used to read like fan fiction as a kid. I used to write fan fiction as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. I used to.
That's how everybody kind of really starts out.
So I'll tell you, like me and my sister actually. Funny enough.
So I think this has turned into a fan fiction cast.
No, this is great. No, this is great. So me and my sister, as kids, we would write these comics. We drew comics. I actually was a comic book maker. One of my favorite comic book series was Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to read the Sonic the Hedgehog.
There was a comic?
The Archie Comics, yeah, did a series of Sonic the Hedgehog comics. They do Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles the Echidna, and then they did some other series. But yeah, those were the primary ones. And I used to, every time I saw them in the store, I'd be like, Mom, I gotta get this. And so like I got like as many issues as possible. But like me and my sister would write these fan comics, and we would like incorporate other characters. It was total fan fiction. I didn't even know what fan fiction was at the time.
They hadn't coined it because the internet had it.
Yeah,
the internet back then was not the internet it is today.
Yeah, this is like 90s. Like this is pre-internet. Like before I like really explored the internet as much. It was just like me and my sister were bored and
what we know
like, decided to be a little creative.
Was like 2005. That's like when. Sorry, I forgot.
And
go on.
If I can ever find these, I know they still exist. I will show the world these comics, but I think my sister knows where they are, so I'm still trying to get.
Fan fiction is a good way to start off writing because it's something you know and something you cherish. Like,
but it wasn't just writing; it was literally like I drew up some panels, and then we drew up Sonic characters in these weird situations. I can't remember them for like the life of me, but they were hilarious. I remember one time I actually incorporated like. What the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I wrote these for like a long. We kept doing these for a long period of time, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime started becoming a little more popular in the early 2000s. And so I wrote one with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, and we started drawing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters. There might have been even Dragon Ball Z characters in there somewhere, and all kinds of crazy shit. It was so great. But so like so I can see that in here. Like I see the fan fiction like scenarios happening in Freedom Planet with like them at the house watching the TV,
which because they had so many scenes that weren't necessary. Like, hey, let's go watch a movie.
They're pure character development scenes, and it just doesn't make sense in terms of a game
story
that is trying to, that is like a classic game where like there's not a whole lot of story, or the story is told through very like.
Well, there is a
couple
classic mode where you can
and
like
then-
skip through like the.
Yeah, that's true. But like with like Sonic the Hedgehog, like originally, like the way it told the story is like
Just
you
to
could
the
read the
level.
manual that would give you a good overview of what's going on, but they would just show you what would happen. They would not tell you. You'd just see, oh, Knuckles is being a douchebag. He hit a switch, and now he's helping me out. What's going on here? But like that's just what happened. That's how it told the story. You had to kind of figure it out. You could voice the characters yourself. That's why fan fiction for Sonic might be popular, is because they did that, because of how they did the storytelling early on. They definitely didn't take that approach when they made Sonic Adventure. They went the completely other route. They're like, we're going to write our own fan fiction. That's essentially what I think of the Sonic Adventure storylines is
it was so bad.
their own fan fiction, and they continued onward, and they did their own fan fiction. It's awful. Sonic Boom is even that way, except that it was made by the guys who did like I think Jack and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank, like one of the Sony games. They worked on Sonic Boom.
It must have been an offshoot, because if
And-
Naughty Dog had
yeah.
worked on Sonic Boom,
It wasn't Naughty Dog. It was people who had
Had
worked
worked
for
with the
Naughty
projects?
Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
well then you people should have learned a little bit better.
And it actually has a very like
Jack and
Spyro the Dragon, Jack and Daxter type feel to it, because like the environment's very open, but you go to like the certain worlds and whatnot as you go. It's like kind of Banjo-Kazooie like ish. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I don't know. Like Sonic fan that Freedom Planet is. I think it's a pretty good game actually for an indie game. Solid.
No, yeah, I mean it played well. The storyline is really laughable for me, just because
absolutely.
I try to write, and I know some of the development and some of the scenes. It's like a good version of The Room.
Well,
like
I think
is what it is for video games.
Exactly. Yeah.
'Cause
And like I think we've all like if anybody's done any writing, we've all done shit like that.
Oh no! I mean, you like when I first did some of my
And that's
writing.
where I related to it.
just-
It's like, oh my god, I've written stuff
That
like
bad.
this that bad before. So
It's because you gotta learn though. Like you don't just know how to like put a scene together right
Yeah.
off the bat. But that's a good way games to just become really good social, that you can actually do this kind of things and
Mhm.
just be like, here you go. Let's get a community together. Let's do this. Let's go fun it, and then boom, done. And then more examples of that are like Kickstarter, like Loco Yolo, the
Ukulele? Ukulele. Oh, that game's gonna be so good.
Games have gotten really pretty good with a lot of the community to actually
Sure.
take a good effort to it. And one thing that games to social at least helped is connecting to the world though.
Yeah.
Like the only way my dad and I, he lives in California, so that's about
Right.
800 miles away from here.
Mhm.
He's got a PlayStation 4, I've got a PlayStation 4, and he doesn't have the time to PC game, so we'll get on, do it, just have some fun, play some Battlefield Hardline, Call of Duty, things like that. And it's a good way. I mean, they keep in touch with his family and friends.
That's the thing is like I've noticed since like I got out of high school I actually stopped even in high school with social gaming, or social gaming was MMO based at that point. It was just like I'll play with my relatives that played WoW, and then like I also made a bunch of online friends through WoW. Like I made a bunch of friends that were just all over the US, and like we played, and then like I got in a big time guild, and I made friends with them, and like it was really interesting. I loved that aspect of it though. It was like because it felt like you were part of some sort of community, and you were doing it to work together, and it was just all over the internet, which was really weird. But
no, it's a good thing. Like I've actually one thing which we found kind of funny, and we found this out kind of just randomly. Destiny likes apparently something to do with the servers. They kind of localize the servers.
right.
So one thing we found out is that we started raiding in Destiny, and we found out everybody was from Utah.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, I live like I'm in Maitland. I'm like, and so we actually got together
Nice.
in real life, and we went to go see.
I
a
don't
movie.
think a lot of people do that. Like, but that's
Well,
that's
it's
really
kind of
cool when you
it's
can.
hard because you don't know how
Yeah.
how
Because like you could get the
it's
guy
the
in
internet kind of thing.
California, or get the guy in like some other state. But that's cool that you just like get some people in the area, and then you just go out and have dinner or lunch afterwards. It's cool.
It was enjoyable. I kind of hate the fact that Destiny's gotten really bad because we don't play as much as we used to.
Destiny was such a good idea. I wish it would have worked out.
I think the problem is the gameplay. A lot of the execution just is really hard. It's
the lack of a PC version was the really big problem.
I don't think a PC version would have actually saved it. Honestly, you just wanted to play
I just
Destiny.
want to play Destiny on PC. I think I would. That kept me from playing it.
But it has a lot of good, and the lack of a story. Like the thing is with an MMO, if you're gonna promise like an MMO-esque thing, you need some lore, some actual lore, really good lore to keep people around. Because you want people exploring, and there's nothing to really explore. It's just like, oh, here's this area I've seen 5,000 or 6,000 times again, kind of thing. But that's kind of some of the negative parts of social media, though. Is you get these friends, you don't actually get to, like,
you don't actually know them.
Yeah. You don't know them. You don't get to keep. You don't even know if they're good people because people that are on the internet can be really different. Like, one thing I kind of miss is having all my friends together. Like when you had your birthday party and you did the Smash Bros. You just get everybody together, have a good time.
That's what I like about, and I still like. I think I cling on to these games like Smash Bros.
Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, like any game, Mario Kart, like any game that allows me to have all of my friends, like couch co-op type things, or anything that like I can invite some people over and we can all sit on my same couch and we can play the game together. Like that's still cool to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm stuck in old school gaming, but like that's what I want to do.
Well, because you can have interaction. Here's the thing with so pretend it's just if we couldn't see each other, you don't get to have like the real human interaction. It's like, oh, you have a voice, you don't get to see people, like kind of things like that. And that's the one thing I think social gaming is kind of taking a step backwards, is that we no longer get to actually interact with real people in real life.
I think I saw this thread on Reddit, the gaming subreddit, but it was like, does Halo 5 need split screen anymore? Is that pointless? And I'm like, no, it's not.
No, I think it does, because here's the thing though, when you're a kid, your parents aren't always gonna let you go on the internet, even when the internet things like, and it's fun just to have that. Like, I don't know why they're getting rid of the couch co-op support. Like, it's not that big of a deal to program that into it.
Yeah, like I hate games that don't have the split screen co-op. Like if you like, that's cool to me. Or like drop in, drop out, like co-op, like in X-Men Arcade. Or like in
Ninja Turtles, The Simpsons bash up things.
Exactly,
like that.
Yeah, those arcade like beat 'em up games. That's fun to me, and like seeing games like Mercenary Kings that actually do that, where you can sit down and you and your friend can team up and try to play through the game. It's cool. So I like that's I think why I've like grasped onto a lot of indie games.
Because they still allow you to do that.
My current favorite right now is Duck Game.
Wow.
Because it's like this battle arena Smash Bros with ducks, and it's 8-bit. I don't know. If you play Towerfall, it's kind of like that, but with ducks, and it's really cool. It's like
it's funny. Like, and you
just really fast paced,
and
really
you can even co-op on the computer though.
Yeah,
and you can split screen. Like
exactly. Like I invited some friends over one day, and we played. We had like 3 or 4 people playing at a time on my computer with Xbox controllers. It was way fun. Really good game.
They really need to bring back. I don't think split screen should ever die. It's like I don't know. If somebody's a programmer for video games wants to correct me. As far as I know, I don't think it's that hard to.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you're just splitting the camera, really.
It comes down to like how the game's designed, and I guess if like the split screen takes away from the game design, it makes sense.
But how often does it really do that? I mean, like, I understand the annoyance of split screen, and you always get that friend's like, stop screen peeking. Stop screen. I was always that friend, because my problem with me is that my peripheral would always pick it up, and I could not stop screen peeking.
Right. Yeah, I think it just depends on how the game's designed. There are games like where like I'm trying to think of a good example here, but like.
I don't think Killzone can be split screen anymore, like the newer Killzones, because it's such a heavy filling game. Could you imagine that half box?
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
There's like, because like the performance issues. Like I remember trying to play Borderlands 2.
Oh.
And it just cuts the performance down dramatically.
It does kill the graphics. Like on PlayStation 3, when Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
It kills the graphics kind of.
Yeah.
thing.
it cuts the performance, and it just doesn't. It
and
doesn't
today's
look as
gaming,
good.
if it's not 1080p, 65,000 frames per second.
That's one thing. I know there are some games out there, and I can't think of them off the top of my head here, but that just will not. You just can't do the split screen experience. It just wouldn't work. Like there's just too much going on.
I think games like Halo should be able to do that.
But yeah, like
because Halo got big on the split screen momentum.
That is Halo to me. Like that's classic Halo. I remember early on in the when the Xbox was released, like I'd go to these parties and they would have the two Xboxes connected. We'd be playing Halo on two different TVs in the same room. It's so much fun, and we'd just be yelling at each other because each team would have a TV screen, and we'd just be like, "Oh, screw you, other team," or whatever. It was just cool.
So that's in some ways the internet's
really
been good. In some ways, it's kind of taken the fact that nobody wants to get together.
I mean, fortunately, there are things like Skype, so like you don't lose that. Like, with Heroes of the Storm, I tend to play a lot with my friends.
Yes, but your friends can't throw the controller at you with Skype.
They can't, but. We can get on, and I can hop onto Skype, and we can talk as the game's going on, and strategize, or just bullshit and have fun. So that's kind of helped with it. But yeah, there's something about sitting on a couch and playing Smash Brothers together or Mario Kart and getting through a level that's just a good experience. I don't know.
Eventually, there event like Matrix style VR, and you just like, oh, they look guys.
Also makes for a good date night. If you're, in
you get a gamer girlfriend though.
Dating world, regardless if she's a gamer or not, you just get a good accessible game like Mario Kart where it's just like you press one button to go and that's it.
And you have.
That's it, yeah. And then you bring her in or have her play.
No, I'm gonna have her play Dark Souls.
Yeah, there you go. Co-op Dark Souls. That's a game that could not be split screen.
No, I don't know how you would do that because it would be. Because you need all your camera in Dark Souls. And I've never played Dark Souls, but I've seen a lot of gameplay footage. Like, if you can't see, like, some of your camera...
Yeah, that's something, like, about... I love this about Dark Souls is it immerses you into the experience because you're forced to look around every corner and be perceptive and be like, I shouldn't run in here because it's dark room.
But then they
there's
have those
going to be an
moments where
enemy
they just troll you.
Running out of the corner. And... Yeah, so like you have to be very like cautious and weary about where you go, and sometimes you just like I guess I'm just gonna step in and see what happens. But yeah, there's no way like I think a split screen co-op to Dark Souls would make the experience worse.
You should do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Or you can just
not do it.
Online co-op Dark Souls. That works fine.
I don't know. I'm gonna miss the good old days, but I think we're kind of going in some good directions.
It's going in a different direction. That's the thing.
We're nostalgic.
That's how life works. Things change, but
I used to be with it. Then they changed what with it was.
But I think things from the past still work. It's weird because like I think with gaming, it's like it's something I'm noticing too. Is like you see these indie developers like Yacht Club Games, the guys who did Shovel Knight. They're going back in time and to Mega Man era, like NES era, and they just recreated a game based on what resources would be available for an NES game at the time. The only difference, I think they added like one bit more, like there's one bit more of color. Like they can have a little bit more color than an NES game, but that's technically you could put Shovel Knight on an NES cartridge and play it, and it would run it fine.
They should do that now. You can start making.
I think they should, but like they did one thing with the colors. I think because they needed an extra color in a few situations to do like some of the bosses or whatever, and so it just like they were like, well, that's the only. So like this is the only thing, and there might be a few other things like reasons why, but maybe for performance issues. Who knows? But other than that, they were like, we just wanted to make a game that was true to. Like a true throwback to NES, and it works. It's a good modern game. Actually, my only issue with Shovel Knight is it's not long enough. Like, there's not enough game, and that's a not.
Is it really short?
It's not really short. It's actually about as long as any NES game would be.
Oh, you just want more.
It's just like you're greedy. You're like, oh man, I wish there was more of this, and they're releasing a DLC expansion. So, where you actually play as a different character. It's just cool.
Oh, you play as his girlfriend?
No, you play, which is weird. Like you'd think like they do a Shield Knight DLC, but instead you play as one of the enemies, Plague Knight. He's one of the bad guys in one of the levels. I don't know if it's just like you play through them in the same levels or if it's. I think it adds some new. There's some new levels and stuff to it too. So we'll see.
Plague Knight do cough on people?
No, he drops like alchemy bottles and he reminds me of like the undead in World
I just
of Warcraft.
think that'd be funny. just have to cough
Gives
and
everybody
sneeze.
the plague. But he has like something that transfers that disease everywhere. I don't know, but whatever the case is, I'm stoked for that game. But I back to my point though, like classic gaming, I think they're just like old things like I said, the couch co-op, like Smash Bros. Like it still works. That's still.
I mean, that's all on
still
one screen,
a valid,
so there should be no reason why you can't co-op.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's still a valid entertainment option. It still works, and
it's like, could you imagine if they like all fighters from now on wouldn't let you couch co-op anymore?
Yeah.
Just because
So
it's not an option, one controller only.
What I think about what I like about that is it isn't dead, and that if any mode of gaming now if anything, we just have more options now. Obviously, some are more convenient than others, like just doing the online gaming thing. Like it's like last night, I hopped on Heroes of the Storm, and it so happened my friends were on. It's like, oh, let's play together. So we hop on Skype and we play Heroes of the Storm.
I don't know, I just missed the good.
That's
old
convenient
day.
and easy, but like we can actually socialize a little bit more. But yeah, but by that being more convenient, you're not going to be as likely to go to your friend's house and do the couch co-op. It's actually going to be a special event now. Like that's going to be like once a month or every 2 weeks or whenever.
Or every week like us.
Yeah, yeah. Depending on how busy you are, you get together and do some couch co-op or something. But whatever the case is, it's.
Dude, I need to drag
not
him.
bad.
I need to buy another PlayStation 2 and get some couch co-op. And get some old Killzone going. Like I love that game. I miss.
Really?
Because couch co-op is just it's fun. I'm always gonna miss the riding over to your friends and things like that. Experiencing a new game before the internet came out. Things like that. Because I remember my friend. We used to just sit and play Metal Gear together. We'd watch each other just Metal Gear Snake Eater 3. He didn't have it.
We can do that with Metal Gear Solid, the 5 Phantom Pain. Let's do it. We'll get together, play some Metal Gear.
That's gonna be a long sit because that game. I think it's gonna be the biggest longest Metal Gear ever.
I do want to do a 24-hour stream of Metal Gear sometime in this next month. I don't know if it's gonna be possible, but I really want to.
I'm doing it Friday.
Man,
do it for a game. What is that? That charity?
Extra Life.
Extra Life.
Yeah, we're thinking about teaming up with Extra Life to do a stream here. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool. And we'll play some Metal Gear.
What we can do is that we can just when it comes out, we can do that.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of hold the game off to about Friday. Come over, things like that, install it, and then we can just play it.
Sweet. Yeah.
The only problem with me though is I'm gonna be like, oh, I have to go play this all over again because I don't have the save. But that's the beauty of a Metal Gear game though. Is like they have so many replayability just because you can get so much stuff like each time you replay.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's in the chat that wants to talk about some good experiences about social gaming, things like that. Do you miss the couch co-op? Were you past the couch co-op generation? Things like that.
Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube,
comment below things
please.
Like.
Let us know what your experiences are social gaming. Obviously, our topics are we're running short on stuff to say, but any last thoughts, TJ, on this topic before we?
I wish developers would start when it move away from couch co-op. I mean,
right?
They should just give it as an option. I know sometimes it can like Borderlands 2 we were talking, it can degrade some of the graphics, but but as gaming history has proven, and I'm a firm believer this, graphics aren't always everything, and if as long as it just looks smooth, I think it's okay. And I just think it's going in a better direction, but I think I'm always going to be nostalgic for the couch co-op.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think I would like to see more games like that out in the future, or at least just having the option to. Those are the most fun to me. Is just to be able to invite some friends over, or if I just happen to have friends over, we can just hop in and play games. So games like Duck Game and Smash Brothers, where I can just let's pop this in, let's play. I don't think that will die. I don't see it dying in the
It's not gonna
future.
die, but it's not gonna be like something people have as good as memories about. I more than think because
sure,
it's
because
not.
there's just there's so many options. You got Call of Duty out. That's pretty popular right now too, or it's always going to be popular for, or at least for a little while anyway. We'll see. I think it's on its way out. I think eventually it will.
No, I think it will, but it's almost like
it's going strong.
It's almost like the Madden though. Like it's so easily accessible for esports though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to be like
we'll see
completely dead. Oh, Nighthawk.
Nighthawk.
Have you still
the 3? Thanks for.
I wish he said, "Are you guys excited for Fallout 4?" That's one game I wish was co-op. Could you imagine? Just I don't know why I don't have co-op features for that.
You know, just they got that Elder Scrolls MMO. They'll probably just
screw the MMO. The thing is about the new Fallout 4
Fallout in the same.
Is that you can continue the play after the game's over, and there is no level cap.
Yeah, that is the new announcement with that too.
So
there's no level cap.
Could you just imagine getting your friends in there and just be like having the chaos, having some like fat man fights, and just going,
God. Whatever the case is, that's cool. Hopefully they have like a dynamic enemies and stuff. So like there's enemies that you can fight that aren't gonna get like too overpowered.
I think I like about the new power armor system is that it looks like it's not gonna be something that you can just drag around.
Yeah.
Like everybody kind of relies too much on power armor. And it gets to the point where it's like, oh, I just need to power armor this, power armor that, and I kind of like the fact that
it's like an Iron Man thing where you have to go and
get it all
suit up,
things like that, and it's gonna be. I'm excited. I'm really hyped because because when it was funny, is like I was streaming Battlefield Hardline and I forgot I had my desktop. This fool has to send me the link, and everybody is watching me. Pre-order the Pip-Boy edition. Like I did that like. Very, very first thing it came out in the morning. I was on the bandwagon for that. Because this is gonna be like I think it's gonna be the first. No, it's gonna be the second Fallout I'm gonna be able to like jump on with pre-orders, and it looks like a really good, solid game from all the footage I've seen, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, it looks good. We'll see how that turns out. And it's like, when does that come out? September or
November?
November. Okay.
So November is going to be a very busy month.
We got Metal Gear. We got Metal Gear next month. That's all I'm worried about. And then
Mad Max too. There's so many good games coming out this year.
I'm just going to play straight Metal Gear. I think it's the next game I'm going to buy, and it's probably the last game I'll buy this year. But we'll see. Potentially Fallout 4.
Mad Max, Fallout 4. I guess you could just do that in like Phantom Pain too. Like Nighthawk said, he had if his friend if there was co-op, he'd just hide in the metal box the whole entire time and just not tell people.
There you go. I don't know if there's gonna be co-op with this one, but it'd be cool.
They could easily program.
He's a strange person.
Well, Snake's a strange person. I mean, he's always having to hide in those boxes and things like that.
There you go. Anyway, we got to close out the cast because we're running out of time. But thanks for watching.
Sorry for those. I think somebody else just joined. But if you follow us below, we do have a nightly schedule.
Yeah, so we have a regular schedule. We stream at least 3 times a week. You can catch me or TJ on throughout the week, and then we do this podcast every Sunday night.
8 p.m. Mountain Standard, 7 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. actually Eastern. So we probably don't get a lot of the Eastern folks, but that's okay.
Regardless, just check us out.
We're a late night show for you guys.
Yep. Check us out, and keep thinking clearly. I guess I don't have a closeout. I have a shitty closeout.
So we're thinking clearly, and you actually have to mess it up with clearly thinking.
Absolutely. Yep. Anyway.
Out.
We're
Bye.
Out. Goodbye.
Side swipe, phase out, black, whatever.
Fade to black, whatever it is. There we go.